Hello and welcome to another episode of Sushi and the Swordfish. Once again here with Sushi and looking at my next set of beat 'em ups in this lovely genre that I've already expressed my love for in previous episodes. But we're going to jump into the Super Nintendo, and I don't have quite as many as I thought I did actually. A little bit smaller collection here, but still nonetheless some really fun games. One of the ones I've been looking for that I've seen a few times but has been kind of pricey is the Peacekeeper, so that one I don't have, but it's one I'd like to get at some point. However, we're going to jump right into Rival Turf, quite possibly some of the worst box art in a Super Nintendo game ever. I don't know what this was all about here. Why they chose this as their box art is unbelievable, with a Marky Mark wannabe look like, and I don't know who the other guy is supposed to be. Just terrible though, like absolutely terrible. But you better believe that I got this as a video station special. Another one, I think I got this one for $5 even. I think they were really kind of get rid of their games at that point. So it's awesome to get that game, and it's an okay game. It's pretty bad. It's not a very good game, but nice to have in the collection, and it's usually a game you can find like $10, something like that. It's not very expensive. I also from there got the Combat Tribes, which is really cool. This box is actually in pretty decent shape. The manual was quite bad, but nice to get this. And it's got this weird cellophane wrap on it. I don't know why, but I just kind of left it on after the fact. I was like, whatever, leave it on. There's the game, but you better believe it is a video station special. It's just this is a great game. This is one that both Swordfish and I really like. We do enjoy the arcade one as well. I noticed that he kind of had a bit of a different opinion on the arcade one than I did. I thought the arcade one was really good. It's fun that you can throw the guy right down the subway chute and stuff like that. There's just some little bit of elements in the arcade version that are really, really great. But they did a good job in that home port. Next we have the Brawl Brothers, which is in that, what is it, Rushing Beat, I believe, is the series. So the first one is Rival Turf. You get Brawl Brothers, which is quite a bit of an improvement. The hit detection in Rival Turf is absolutely miserable. It is terrible. And I did beat it recently, but it took a lot of effort. And Brawl Brothers plays a lot smoother. And then I heard the Peacekeepers is the best of the bunch. Being the third in the franchise is actually really good to see. There was a lot of progression in their ability to make their games. Next we have Captain Commando. And it's probably a little blurry because I do have it in a package here. Just a little bit of a wrap just to protect it a little bit. Swordfish gave me this game, and to this day I apologize to him profusely, because every time this game kind of comes up in conversation, I feel so bad. He got it for me, and he paid quite a bit. I can tell you it wasn't $10 when he got it. Gave it to me maybe 3 years ago. And I had no idea this was an expensive game. It never was before. He paid quite a bit for it. And we did play it and had a lot of fun with it, but I just felt bad because I think his reaction, we were swapping Christmas gifts. I didn't seem as enthusiastic about it. And it was just totally because it was like, oh, cool, another beat 'em up, not realizing he actually went to a lot of trouble and spent a lot of money on it. So sorry, Swordfish, on that one. Really amazing to have in the collection. I really appreciate it. Next, we have Final Fight 2. Final Fight 1 holds a lot of people's hearts as the best in the franchise. There's nothing wrong with this game. It's perfectly serviceable as a Super Nintendo game. It was great that they were able to get the 2-player co-op in there, and it's a neat one because it goes around the world. I believe I can't remember everywhere it's in this game now. I believe you go to Hong Kong. Wow, I'm forgetting all the locales, but it's got a bit more of a world vibe to it rather than just cleaning up the mean streets of Metro City, which I liked. I thought that was a good route to take, and I haven't played the third one, so I'm assuming it does, but you better believe that's a video station special. Seriously, I know I've already said this, but I don't know what in their right mind they thought this would make for a good idea. And it's just like, it's just, Yeah, I don't know. I mean, as I said, I guess they thought this was the best way to make sure their games wouldn't go missing, but it's not like it had a tracking device in it or anything. Like, Anyways, next we have the King of Dragons. Certainly not a $20 game anymore, unfortunately. Slowly but surely, this game really started to get some clout, and I would say this might be my favorite game on the Super NES as a beat 'em up. It's either that or it's a close second. It's I can't quite explain exactly what's special about it, but if you like the Dungeons and Dragons games that Capcom worked on, this is kind of a precursor to that. It's a lot more simplified, so it's very straightforward, but it's still really neat that each character has a little bit of differentiation between them, and you do get some weapons and upgrades as you play through the game. Somebody had introduced me to this game, and I as I said, it was $20. I would have bought this, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago now. Just on their recommendation, because they knew I like beat 'em ups, and I'm really thankful that that was recommended to me, because I do know it's quite hard to come by on the Super NES these days, and it's a really good port. It's actually quite faithful to the arcade. Next we have Knights of the Round, another game that's kind of raised up in value quite a bit, but I remember this from the arcade, and this is one of the first Super Nintendo games I was looking for at the time. I think I maybe paid $30 for this one, maybe 20 or 30. I don't think it was an X rental, but it does have a number on it, and it's got a lot of damage on the back, so there's a good chance that it was an X rental, but it certainly isn't a video station special. But this also was ported quite well. Capcom did really good with their ports from the arcade. They obviously shaved some stuff out, but they're done really well. All right, next we have Super Double Dragon. Again, maybe one of the more divisive Double Dragon games. I don't hear a lot of people say many wonderful things about this. Swordfish and I think it took time, but over time we kind of came around on this game. And even though it's a little bit slow, it doesn't play very similar to the other NES titles, even the arcade titles in a lot of ways. It's very much a new title in the franchise, plays a lot different than them. I find that I enjoy it, even though this game kind of gives you a bit more of a pull towards being defensive in the game, whereas I found that the NES titles push you a little harder to be more offensive. I still really enjoy that game, and it's a bit of a weird game in some of its presentation and its way that it's the action plays out, but I like it. Finally, we have Turtles in Time, so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, a much beloved game, $20. This game kind of fluctuates in price. Sometimes I see it for really high, anywhere upwards to $100, and sometimes in the $50 range if you're lucky. But yeah, definitely one that I'm glad I ended up buying a long time ago. And I remember thinking, like, am I going to really enjoy this game still? And after I bought it, it was like, yeah, no, this is still a really fun game. And it's just a great game to just pop in at any time and play really quick to get through. All right, well, those are my Super Nintendo games. Again, it's a tough call. Like, if I had to choose, one versus the other, it's either going to be Turtles in Time or King of Dragons. But I feel like King of Dragons is just a game I can throw in at any time. I suppose you can't go wrong with Turtles, of course, but I think with King of Dragons, it offers a little bit something different than Turtles, and it's a little bit slower, and I think I like a little bit slower paced game. Okay, well, thank you for joining me for a look at the Super NES Beat 'em Ups. I don't know if there's any there that you really enjoy, or even recommendations. I'm always looking for these kind of games because I just love to sit down and have a head-to-head with Swordfish on just trying to complete a game. We don't really get head-to-head, may not be the word, but just that, not from a competitive side of things, but just that teamwork aspect is something I really enjoy, and that cooperative nature of a game makes me really excited when I find something that's really fits that bill. So any recommendations for those previous consoles, whether that's Master System, NES, Genesis, or Super NES, completely open to them, and throw them at us. We're always looking for those kind of games. So thanks for joining me. See you down that road when we start looking at some disc-based games. Take care.